Okay, so we're here attacking you today because we have the question, can there be science without determinism?
So what the hell is determinism? Oh, right here it says determinism is the idea that every event, even how we act and the choices that we make, are determined by a chain of events that happened prior to it. Airy Films once said, "We're blind to the laws and the forces that manage us. We assume that there is nothing that controls us. However, since our perception is slightly off, that gap we call free will."
According to Edwin Oat, we have the impression of free will because we do not know all the factors and events which determine our choices and decisions. Therefore, in the presence of inadequate knowledge, we have an illusion of free will. But with more knowledge, we would be able to see the determinism. Most of us humans like to believe that we have free will. We prefer to make our own decisions in our everyday life. We can control our actions as far as we know. Edwin Oat said, "Our knowledge tells us that choice is not necessary to our own description of the universe. Natural disasters occur without any one person's choice for them to occur. Hurricanes, volcanoes, earthquakes, thunderstorms. We have learned to live with them, but no one chooses for a hurricane to hit Florida this afternoon. That's outrageous. We have to believe determinism takes a role."
There are so many laws of the physical world, conservation laws, gas laws, chemical laws. Science is so limited that we can't help but think that the universe must be ruled by...
There is no such thing as randomness. To put in perspective, think of a dog and its owner.
Dendrophilian used an example about an owner feeding his dog at random times, or at least what the dog thought was random.
It is so random. I get fed every day at a different time. I'm able to tell when I'm going to get fed the next day. This is not fair.
I do have a pattern to feeding my dog. Hermes just doesn't understand it. It seems random to him, since I feed him at a different time each day for 13 days. But after those 13 days are up, I start over at the same time I began with. It is just too complicated of a pattern for him to follow.
Since I do not understand this pattern, it is random to me. Occurrences that seem random to us are actually not random at all. The universe is such a complex place, and we do not have the ability to understand it all. We are the dog, and we are unable to tell when we are going to be fed.
Alan Turing thought the future, present, and past of every material object is subject to the laws of physics, but he couldn't accept that his life was already determined for him. Different leaders have a variety of opinions. Martin Luther didn't think anything happened randomly because of his faith in the Bible, but Buddhists believe that every event is the result of one that happened before, and there is no first event. Donald Knuth, a Stanford computer scientist, expressed that God controls the world but allows for some free will through randomness, while C.S. Lewis, a philosopher, says everyone lives their lives entirely through free will and personal choices.
Dendrophilian claims, "We do not choose what we do more than an apple chooses to fall out of a tree. As factors are given into consideration such as weight, wind blowing the tree, the strength of the stem, we do not realize we realize that the apple had to fall out of the tree at the exact time it did. Just because humans seem more complicated than this does not mean we are any more free from the law. It just means we have to take more things into consideration in the way we feel, think, and act as we do." In Madman Dreams of Turing Machines,
it says, "We are all caught in the stream of a complicated legacy, a proof of the limits of human reason, a proof of our boundlessness."
There are many theories about determinism and free will, but there is no proof.
Karl Esposel of the Institute of Theoretical Physics in Vienna says that science is the crossroads between randomness and determinism.
So if there weren't for determinism, science would not exist.
That was gay.